Hey, I'm back. Still can't, um, I guess you could say, like, get any sleep. I've been, off from work for probably, almost 2 months now. So, yeah, probably, like, no, I think I was off since July. Yeah, I've been off from work since July, so early July. Like right after, or right before 4th of July. So, yeah, probably the 3rd was my last day. 3rd of July. So, I'm back and, trying my best to, stay on the subject of why, I feel that the Son of God and the Antichrist are the same. Is because, again, I've been searching. And because I've been searching, Father has opened up my understanding to receive his knowledge of not only about the Son of Man and the Antichrist being the same, but also that I'm the Son of God. And there's a lot of proof to show you that, well, I have a lot of proof on showing you why. But right now I just want to kind of like get back to where I left off. And I know I kind of veered off into, speaking about the women, but, I think they play a very pivotal role in this whole, what do you call, revelation as far as, or revolution of, the Son of God being brought into this time. And as far as knowing what he's up against, so he clearly understands who his enemies are. So, where the women fall into is because, of course, now that he's knowing who he is, because again, when you look at the Matrix, Neo, had no idea of who he was and what his purpose was. But when he found that out, he had to first be familiarized of what where he was as far as his condition. And once he was familiarized with his condition was, he was given the choice of choosing what was his best, what would be his best as far as his decision. So he was given a right or a left, you know. So where do we get that concept from? When the Father says choose life, you have two paths before you. Choose life. If anybody's familiar with the Kung Fu or Japanese movie, what is that movie? Where he asks the son to, take the ball or the sword, right? And the son goes to the sword. You see, he chose life. I mean, some people would call that death, but life is a sword because you become a conqueror over the relaxation of living a life that is going to be against you. So you're prepared. You see what I'm saying? So you're given a sword. So that's where that concept comes in. We have to understand as being, people who were pretty much tested and going through all of the things of being mistreated and taken uh, for granted, by people who, I don't know if they either knew the Father or they didn't, because sometimes you read and it sounds like they didn't know, and then sometimes you read and it's like they clearly knew. This is what they were led to do. And this is the reason why it was successful. Because they were, this had to happen. This was a part of prophecy. So now we understand why, of course, the 400 prophecy that is, I believe, told to Abraham about his children being in servitude for 400 years. And once they would come out, they would come out with much spoil. And they will be, I'm paraphrasing, I'm sorry if I don't have any scriptures right now on hand or on deck, but I will eventually once I get more comfortable with this. But like right now, it's just like, sometimes I just feel like I need to speak on these things. And, as sometimes I see more and more information, I read things and watch these movies. I'm just seeing so much. It's just like my mind is being bombarded. But what I was saying earlier was like, the reason why the women play a pivotal role is because they are the ones who are really against his kingdom. Because when you look at the women and the way they are literally against men being the dominant over them. And that will be a part of his kingdom. The women will be made low. They will be brought low. Because we're going to realize then that it's better for them to be in that position than to be over us. Because now, women give us this notion that they are close to God. So we worship them. We really care about what they think about us versus what the Father thinks about us. So once we can get them, in a submissive place again, then we can be true men. We can stand up like true men. We have to get rid of them, because they are an enemy to us. And it's obvious. Like I said, in the last video, there's pretty much no women that I know personally. So I'm not gonna go as far as to say they don't exist, but I know they if they're existing, is because they're hidden, and we have to see who they are. And it's obvious it's the younger women, because they are women nonetheless, although they are spoke of as little children, but they're the younger women. Because who can tell these old dogs anything? These are bitches, and we can't have them in the kingdom unless they are willing to be called bitches and treated like the whores that they are. Because none of them, as far as I'm concerned, have any fear for a man, and that's basically respect as an authority. Women are willing to fight men, in any occasion, like play fighting or seriously, wanting to throw blows. Women are willing to do that. So that shows that, when they say that they fear men, what do they really fear? I mean, after all of these things that they've brought up, as far as with R. Kelly, women are the biggest hypocrites. when it comes to things like that, because, you know, we known R. Kelly like younger women for years, but that didn't stop them from supporting his music. I was at a lot of his concerts, and they sold out. So how dare they, not having any sense of judgment, try to convince us that we are in the wrong? Like, really? So if you can't see that that is a part of what the Son of God is going to have to convince men, that's the only way we can have an uprising, because that is when they will know that the Son of Man exists. Because why? He's raised up as a voice, no different from what they did to Hitler, and all these other communist nations that they are so much against. Okay, so until you have a leader, that's why he said, until I'm raised. I mean, if you raise me up, I'll draw all men unto me. Why? Because I'm gonna have the voice. I have the voice. The Father gave me the voice, so you have to make me famous. In other words, because that's the only way I can truly do the Father's will, is when my voice is like a trumpet and I'm raised up, because I'm going to speak like a man regardless of what. People, they're so against Trump, but Trump is doing what Trump is supposed to do. They knew what they were doing. And if anybody can't see past Trump being like the last president, I'm very sorry for the people. Like, who else could fill the shoes of any president? I mean, like, and just to say, like, what do we need at this time? Any president? Why do we need a president? We already know that they're working for a corporation that constantly convinces us that we can get better if we work harder. It's ridiculous. So again, I understand both sides, duality. I'm just as well as a man as anything, but I understand my purpose, and the Father revealed that to me. So when I hear 666, it makes sense to me why in the movie, oh gosh, here I go again. Trying to remember movies and things like this. But I'm gonna get to that. Let's see here. Matter of fact, let's see here. Because this helps with the what I'm gonna try to bring up, but I can't find the damn movie photos. See, this is what happens when you shoot from the hip. So again, forgive me for that. I promise that I will find these photos. But let's just look at some pictures, man. I mean, hey, what can we say, right? Okay, we are familiar with this here. This is transgender, female, male, whatever. This is what we are up against as men. Okay, the fact that makeup and a set of good boobs, like, can be created in such a way where we're deceived by this. knowing that we are sex deprived, knowing that most men are really just looking to be happy with a beautiful woman, even if it's just one. Like if she's beautiful to us and, submissive, we will sincerely love that woman. I think most good men, I can't speak for every man. I apologize if I say men and every man think I'm speaking about him. But if you can so far, you know, uh, consider the things that I'm saying, then hey, hang in there because it gets real. It's gonna get thick. Pause. But like, so when you look at a female, a person that's able to do this transition, this to me is something that should be alarming. And it's nothing wrong with being attracted to that because that looks like a woman. You see what I'm saying? So when um, Malik Yoba says that he's attracted to women, or was it the transgender male or whatever the hell, like I think most men will say, yeah, we agree. There's some that look very much like women. And if I'm looking at what I think is a woman, I'm more likely to be sexually aroused because of that. We've had it happen to us plenty of time. If you watch porn, you've slipped up a few times. Okay, let's be honest. Come on, let's be honest. And I'm quite sure there's some men who would say no, but I don't. I'm speaking to the real men, who do find pleasure in masturbating to, number of porn categories. You know what I'm saying? And again, if you're someone who's into porn, you've slipped up a few times and seen the, what it would look like to be with a transgender male. And, for one, like it looks like a woman with a penis. I've seen some that were very, very, like I couldn't believe what I was watching. And it didn't stop me from being aroused either. Can I speak like a man? Because I think a lot of us hide behind this mask. And when at the same time we want some people to respect us, but we can't speak like men anymore. So I'm going to do it for you. So that I can show you what it sounds like to be honest and not give a damn. Because this is the time, obviously. Dave Chappelle's doing it. The only thing, he's making a whole lot of money. All I need is a few ears. So, yeah. So like I said, I've watched them, and I can say I'm not a fan of them, but I can say that it is something that I can see men falling into, especially younger men, because they are not being grounded or raised up correctly by real men anymore. So of course, if you only have men who come in, pass through, they want to be with their moms, what real understanding are they getting? So when Malik Yoba says that he's, standing up for a young man who killed himself, supposedly, because of bullying, that was not bullying, Malik Yoba. That was correction. That's what it sounded like to me. Something that our generation needs. Okay, you want to try to go deep. Yeah, men can raise women. We've done that plenty of times. There's much evidence of men being able to raise women to be women. So why don't we support that, other than trying to convince men that it's okay to be like women? Because if anything, a real man can do that. Still uh, protect his little girl just as much as do her hair so he can go to the park and tell her right from wrong, and the fact that she can't dress that way because that brings too much attention to her. Yes, there's some real men that can still say these things, but they obviously not the ones that women respect. They don't fear those men. So because they don't fear those men, they're trampled under their feet. And they don't care how much, how important we are, because the only thing they are concerned about is how they look in a pair of those jeans that they want. How fat their ass is going to look in those jeans, and how big those titties going to look in, whatever the hell they trying to fit or squeeze them through. This is what women have become. And then they'll, with this fake, I go to church, and seminars to hear these wannabe, all they doing is being speech coaches. They ain't giving you no judgment. They ain't telling you the hell with your education. That don't mean nothing to God. He could care less about your damn college graduate and honor roll and whatever the hell else this world will give you. Like I said, Nipsey Hussle didn't tell you this before he died, but I am. You see what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you. Anyway, here's another, this is what our people, will praise and worship and say that he is the Son of God. But again, yeah, he gave you some knowledge, but did he give you any real uncut to the gut wisdom and judgment? Well, if he didn't, let me do it. Because, to me, they're passing him off as the Messiah. And y'all okay with that. And all he is, to me, is a Muslim or an Arab. This is what he is, man. This picture right here shows you that. But of course, you got to be a hater now because he's God, or at least the Son of God to some people. And what he's trying to do is stop wars and killing of each other, when like we don't know that we have to rid our nation of people who don't serve any purpose to get us out of this mother effer. So now you want to stop gang, what you call gang war? Nigga, we can get the gangs the hell up out of here by using war. Because we ain't rocking with their asses anyway if they trying to kill people who are actually trying to deliver their asses out of this hell that they're living in. So, if they can't see, then they're against me. So what then, Nipsey Hussle? They killed you. It didn't matter. It didn't matter then, and it doesn't matter obviously now, because now, we are right back to working at these wretched ass jobs, having to get up, was it 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning, taking subways and or having to drive in traffic, Life ain't getting no easy, man. So y'all need to cut that out. Again, Nipsey Hussle wouldn't tell you this. He wouldn't have never told you this because he was telling you how to survive in this world when this world is always against you. The hell wrong with y'all? Y'all, and then y'all listen to this mother effer, Jay-Z. Is this your king? Is this your king? Is this your king? Sounds like it is to me because y'all go out in droves to support these cats that only can rap. Now what they doing? He's trying to say that Meek Mills is trying to get sue the what is it the oh gosh, man, the hell with all of that, my nigga. First and foremost, you still trying to make money and because you was locked up. Nobody don't care about that, man. The hell with this money. This system is about to crash. What then? You see what happened in Bahamas? This is what I'm saying. Like, we always get the windows and nobody sees it. You seen what happened in Bahamas and the fact that these people are stranded, not knowing what they're gonna be able to do. I mean, mind you, they have to wait on the government to come and save them. And then when they get there, it's all these other changes they got to go through. But then they'll say, oh, that was just Mother Nature. We'll rebuild. We'll rebuild. That's how y'all feel. Instead of y'all humbling down and listening to a true prophet and let you know what you're doing is wrong. This is the reason why you're being judged. You think these things just happen because of Mother Nature, but you ain't going to take a look at what we're doing wrong? Don't you think the Father is going to warn you because he care about you and send you somebody that may be not so popular because you waiting for Drake and all of them to tell y'all, and obviously they too busy. This is the reason why I had to get out of work, because I can't be too busy. But nobody ain't willing to do that. They willing to go through this hell that they're about to go through. I can guarantee you that. I can guarantee you that. These people ain't gonna learn. You got cats that fell shells burn and they still ain't learn. Didn't 50 Cent say that? He felt how the shells burn and he still ain't learn. So what is it gonna take? These are the women that most of our men want to be with, man. Especially the younger cats. This is the women that they want to be with. This is how they want their women to look. I ain't gonna front. That's how I want, the chick that I want. I mean, like, yeah, I'm attracted to her. I think she look good. But can I call her a bitch and a slut, though? And she still want to, give it up? I doubt it. I'm going to have to treat her like a lady, though. But look how she dressed, though. I'm going to have to treat her like a lady, but look how she dressed. Come on now. Y'all playing games, man. Y'all playing games. Network is poor, please. I don't know what that is. Hopefully this ain't turned off my internet. And I hope it's not getting choppy either. But if it does, I apologize for that. I'll have to do another video if anything. But I think I'm reaching my people. Hopefully I am. This is the brat, I believe. Looks like the brat to me. I'm not sure if it's, we all have doubles, but somebody said that this is the brat. I think I believe it. Look at the brat. This is what women have become. Brat used to be a straight up dyke. I don't know what the hell happened. I mean, I ain't mad at you though. But like, could I call her a bitch and a slut and she still be okay with that? Because I think if I call her a bitch and a slut, I don't think I'm wrong for saying that. You see what I'm saying? Because keeping it real, like, anytime a woman can walk around like this and take pictures like this, what type of respect are you going to really show her? Especially if she gave you the pussy right away. I mean, some dudes respect a woman more when they have to work for it. Now, being attracted and respecting is two different things. Let's be clear. Some people think because they're fully, attracted to a woman that they have respect for that woman. No. Because respect means being fearful of them and actually respecting their law. Men don't respect women's law. And women's law is to control them, to tell them that God doesn't like them being with other women when that's not the truth. See what I'm saying? So those are things that women come up with, and this is their law. Because again, when women attract men, men become submissive to that woman's law in order to get along with her. And it's never about what the man's law is. Why? Because the man came on to her. So women are very wise when it comes to that. They know if they come on to a man, then they have to respect his law. That's the reason why women won't usually go into a man's DM unless he's very, like he's a celebrity or super, super attractive, what they would consider to be, their, a prize, tall, dark, and handsome, So, yeah, these are the type of women that, those, those are the type of men these women want. So you see like women dressed like the brat who has a body like the brat, as much as she would consider to be with a good man, is she really looking for a good man? Because there's a lot of good men out here. I'm quite sure women know that, but they're not attracted to those men. So we already know women can't be anything connected to God because they don't make good choices. They only are, like they're very, I don't know the word, but they just want to be with what attracts them on the outer appearances. So like what's on the inside really doesn't matter. Right? So yeah, we know this. We know this. I had to take this picture too. I mean, I was like, wow. And for some reason, when you speak like this is another thing. Like, if you a real person and someone who can see and have both sides, they'll judge you for the side that they see that is what they would consider to be negative, I guess. So even if you hold good wisdom and knowledge and you have a weakness to the sight of, women, they'll say that, oh, you're not anyone who can tell us how to be because, look what, you like women that look like whores. So why you, well, yeah, I don't mind looking at whores. But I just feel that women don't know their place. So they don't want to be made whores although they want to do what whores do. So again, if women are put in the place that she belongs by force, because that is the spirit that they have. I mean, they always tell you, you can't train a whore to be a housewife. So you have to put her in her place. You can't ask her. You have to tell her, and she has to do it. Why? Because that's the spirit that she has. How are you gonna convince her, a whore, that she, there's what's this porn actress, Khalifa, something Khalifa, I believe, or Khalifa something. But yeah, I think you guys are familiar with her. She, attractive chick. I think she's Muslim. And I was watching recently where she has come out, and I guess, exposed the porn industry, or I don't know, at least she wants to come out of that lifestyle. And she was saying that when she was younger, she, I guess you could say, didn't have the body that she thought was um, what men were attracted to. She was, I guess, very chubby, and possibly didn't have had the figure that she wanted. And we see this all the time. Now, whether or not she would say that she wasn't, men didn't attract to her, is true. I think the men that she wanted wasn't the ones that, because I mean, I think it's fair enough to say that some women may not get hit on by a lot of men, but they do have one particular guy that does find them attractive. So why is it that we also are okay with women telling us that, they weren't attractive at one time, but now, because a lot of men hit on them, this made them feel better? Well, okay, you like a lot of men being attracted to you, but you don't want to have sex with a lot of men? I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? So, well, just touching on the whole thing, real brief. She was trying to, I guess, explain her reasoning for leaving the industry, and I guess the inner workings that people don't see. Like, I guess, what she was saying, that the people were intimidating her as far as wanting to have her wear the hijab or hijab during some of the sex scenes, which I've seen plenty of. And for some reason, um, well, okay, I won't get into that. But anyhow, she has been, right, I guess, ostracized, or from her community, and the people, religious people who consider that to be sacred, and that she, or just, she's disrespected her religion and her country, and they may not want her back. So, but of course, in America, they accept you for anything that you've done wrong, and you can still hold your head up. So, see, the thing is what she fails to understand, that she has to take on the punishment that she, but she wants to escape that and make us feel that they're wrong for wanting to judge her, because what she's done is she's corrupted so many of the so-called men that are now, perverts, and just can't be trusted around women. They've perverted their minds to a point where it is almost irreversible, because this is the way we see women now. And some of these women will say, oh, well, we're innocent, you know and all we want is men, but they want to have sex like this, and they want to have sex like that, because they're watching the porn. yeah, last time I checked, women will tell you that you're boring in sex if you only know one position. You know, so again, women don't have the logic, right, to bring us out of darkness, okay, into this light that the Father is showing us through me. Because I'm gonna be real and keep it 100 and say things that some people will be against, but no different from Donald Trump. Okay, so yes, when I'm showing you, this is a campaign. This is not just something that everybody's gonna see. Like how they said, the Son of Man, he's gonna come in a time when no one's looking, but he's gonna be coming with a campaign of the kingdom of heaven. In the knowledge of the kingdom of heaven. So I think that's pretty much it. Um, this is a good one here. All right, evolution. It ends where we're being submissive to a woman. This is pretty much where evolution ends, and it's the truth because when you see men today, they will support their woman 110% of the time. You can come into a relationship and she wants to be a comedian and she's serious about it. And she literally thinks she's funny when she's not. But if you don't support her, then you don't care about her. Or she wants to sell food and she wants to sell like greasy, burgers and, heart clogging cheese and cheese steaks and with the works. I mean, this is what type of business she wants to make. And deep fried, deep, pork grinds and all types of craziness. And then, mind you, she's bigger than the mother effer. I've seen men support women 110%. Okay? So you can't tell me that men aren't supportive. But now we need the women to support us and say, yo, you're right. We have been taking advantage of you. And yes, your life is a struggle to be raised up in a place where everything has been against us. Society, being that we're just, niggers. And also, we can't tell our women anything because, we don't look like the people on television. Can't talk about Michael Jordan or Jay-Z because look how much money they get. So yes, we've been degraded and made to look as a humble servant. So a woman who doesn't and will never see what it's like to be a man who has to go through these things, and be, not only terrorized by, what the world brings, but also just terrorized by your community. I mean, like just to say, the world forces you to work for a system that really robs you, out of the money that you actually deserve after you work 8 hours and every day coming there on time, dealing with subways and buses, late, came too early, they just left, now you gotta wait 20 more minutes, like overcrowded. They don't realize, that we got to go through all of this just to, and then they'll tell us, not only that, not just work hard, but go to school and work hard at school too. And not only that, be academically, so still keep a body while you working hard and going to school, and also keep up your physicality to the highest standard. In other words, you can't have no time to relax because you're too young. And I mean, I hear that all the time. Oh, you can't complain. You sound like an old man because you're too young. You have a whole life ahead of you. Wow. And that ends the whole conversation. So now I have nothing to say because I have a whole life ahead of me because they told me that. So this is, why I say like, it's very important for us to rid ourselves from people who are blind and can't see. We have to. I mean, again, I hope that I inspire people who are willing to leave their jobs, because I feel like it's very important. And my thing is, how I did it for me was I left and I took my what do they call it? Because I heard people have done that and used it for business purposes. I wouldn't say that. I would more so or less use it for, I mean, if it be any business, it'd be your business, but not, a business. But like, was it the 401k? So that, to me is like very important to, snatch out of these, and sit on that, man, because I'll be honest, I don't believe we have too many more years to go through this hell. I mean, again, the revelation of the Son of Man is here. If this is really solely up to the ones who can hear this message and really consider it, because this is something that most people have been looking forward to. And again, I challenge people to take this serious. I really do. I challenge people to take this serious and watch what happens. And watch what happens. Because, again, they know that this is going to happen. Okay? They've shown us in all these movies, like I told you, the majority of all the movies have shown us that there would be a time when a man would rise from the ashes and know who he is. Okay? And it's definitely not this man. Okay? Definitely not him. And his death was definitely a psyops for anyone who doesn't believe that. You need to do way more research and start looking up people who speak out against these things, because these people are what I would consider to be awoke or awake. Because if you are still believing Nipsey Hussle is alive, you are sadly mistaken, man. I don't know what else to tell you. This man definitely either got paid off, whatever they do, however they do it. Yeah, he's a big sign of that. Because you look at a lot of the people who are going and getting tattoos. Huh? Matter of fact, let's go to that, because I'm gonna soon let this video stop this video. But I wanted to first get to, I want to prove all things, man. As best as I can. Again, I'm shooting from the hip right now, but I do appreciate anyone who's considering what I'm saying right now, because I think this is very, very, very important. Again, this is probably the most important thing in your life, because if you really consider what I'm saying, then you'll know that I'm the Son of God, and that I'm not lying to you, and that I have full evidence to know that to be the truth, and that they've, made all these celebrities and these people great in order to make, me, make my life less. Here's one video actually I wanted to.
Pregnant, all that riding dick. Y'all better go ahead with that weak shit. I'm certified real street bitch. Won't be a song about big shit. We strapped up like defense. Whatever you do, sis, keep it cute.
Alright. I ain't even gotta go no further. When I say what I say. People say, "Oh, you picking on the women." Oh, you seen women? Those were women. So again, if what's this chick Khalifa, the porn actress, if she's so serious about where she stands as far as her being sorry, or I don't really know what she was trying to convince the public, but she would go back to where she's from and allow them to determine what her fate is. Because, like, why are you feeling that if you're someone who consider yourself to be a Muslim American, or whatever the hell, you're still religious. So you supposed to adhere to what your nation and what their religious law would consider for you. But that's just show you that she's not real, and most of these women aren't, because as much as they want to be and be respected like men, when they have to go through the judgment that we have to, now all of a sudden they want to be women again. You see? So that's how we know this is what is gonna come to them, because they've had the choice in life. Women are very choosy. You go to a club nowadays, you see that. Men are pretty much, submissive to the women when it comes to the club scene, because it's really up to her whether or not she's gonna dance with you. That she even came to party. A lot of these damn women come in a club and ain't even there to party. They just there to take up space and be mad about every nigga that's trying to rub on their ass when they on the dance floor at that. And we still got patience and time for this, man. Y'all dudes is crazy. And y'all know y'all are. Y'all are crazy for dealing with and putting up with half of the stuff y'all put up from these females, be. Like, for real. You deal with a woman, come on, you got a woman that want to dress like this, but then take pictures and have everybody seeing it, but then she looking for a real man. How does she deserve a real man when everybody's seeing her body? Like, all her ass is out. Everybody got a piece of that, really. Whether it happened in the physical or in the spiritual, they have had sexual relationships with this woman. Because some of them idolize her like she belongs to them. So they already thinking about her. Hopefully one day, somehow, if they got enough money, they'll bump into her. They text her, say good morning, she probably more likely wouldn't answer back because she got like 20,000 followers. But we okay with that. People still, y'all cats out here still doing that? And y'all say y'all, that the Father is with you? Hell no. You is a flipping pushover, bro. You are unfit. Because if you can't stand up like a man on your square and say the hell with these bitches, then you can't, obviously I'm not in a relationship, obviously. But it's real, it's a reason for that because I speak like this. So why the hell would I get into a relationship? Okay? See, this is me right here on the side. So, this is serious. This is serious. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. Okay? So I'm not lying to you when I tell you that I know who I am. You don't know who I am. But I guarantee if you got bold enough and have faith, like a grain of mustard seed, that you'll truly know who I am. And the Father may deliver you from out of this hell. So this is a call. I'm putting this out. If anyone who comes across it, this will be good news for some people, and for some people it may not be good news, but that's all right. We still gonna do what the Father says and be obedient to that. So saying that, I'm just gonna end this video. Hopefully you guys been blessed by it, and like, subscribe, and share, whatever the hell. I don't know. I get better in time, man. I'm like fine wine. I get better in time. Again, appreciate you guys if you made it to the end. Thanks, and see you later.